Travis Wingood's. A couple of matters of vital, essential to your eternal salvation information for you before we start the regular, boring, probably over an hour long video. In Norco High School in Southern California, they required mandatory second language education. But Norco High School only had Spanish and French. I had found from my parents' church history library that Joseph Smith had said that the German version of the Bible of Luther was the most correct according to our doctrine. And so, learning that Corona High School offered German, because I think Keith Fenstermacher took German, didn't you? I don't think he gives a damn about me and my life right now. He went to Australia on his mission. I went to New York, New York. And Wayne went to France. And then the other guy wasn't going on a mission, but I think changed his mind later. I can't remember exactly. Anyway, and so I went to my mom and said I want to transfer over to Corona High School so I can take German. She said, no. That was always my mom's response when I wanted to do something. Mom, I want to dig a pond in the backyard with a mountain tower. No. Mom, I want a garden shed in the back so that I can live out of it. No. Mom, I want this list for Christmas. No. Parents are supposed to be helping their kids, not saying no all the time. And so, because my peers were saying that Spanish was intensely harder than French, I obviously took French. Even though it was very obvious that anybody who's going to stick around in Southern California, it would be beneficial to learn Spanish. Nonetheless, see, I was visionary back then too. I knew that Trump was eventually going to come around and deport them all, so that we wouldn't have to learn Spanish. I was a visionary. I knew French. And so, of course, on the first day of class, all of my peers were pressuring the teacher to be taught the swear words in French. And he didn't want to. It was making him very uncomfortable. And so what he had told us was femme la bouche. Just to get rid of us and get on with the lesson. And so if you saw yesterday's videos and the songs in the description below, there was a couple of them where I used La bouche. SOS. The mouth of a female? What the hell? Come on. Clayton. Idiot. Hilarious. He just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't cave to the pressure of teenage kids wanting to know swear words. You know, at least we weren't asking for drugs or alcohol. Norco High School also had a smoker's place for the teenage kids. The smokers, they all hung out and smoked out there. Oh, we're not allowed to smoke? We're not 21? Anyway, so hilarious. So the other thing, essential to your eternal salvation, is the good cell name is in the news yet again. Todd Douglas Goodsell of the other brothers. I'm just glad it's Todd's name, not mine. And so, at the church office building today, Todd is probably going to get picked on by his peers at work. Assuming he's still working there after his botched attack on me, forced by his boss through the Strengthening Church Members Committee from the Living Prophets of Jesus back when I moved into this apartment building. Bastard. No honor and integrity whatsoever. And against his older brother. I'm the good guy. Nobody ever threw a party for me. Mom said no. So apparently, Salt Lake City cop. And so when I was in Gail Miller's concentration camp of hell of human trafficking, I was asked, "Oh, you're related to the cop? Huh? What are you talking about?" Yeah, apparently he started in 2019. Todd Douglas Goodsell, of one of the other brothers of my grandpa. And so I got the picture already for you, so that you aren't confused. It's the only American Mormon Goodsell family. There's one other Goodsell family, and the two are the only Goodsells in America. They're not Mormon. Unrelated. It's unclear. They're probably the German version. Are Goodsells, so don't be confused by thinking that there may be a height difference, especially when I put in my grandpa and my dad and my uncle. My dad is not 6'5". Just so that you understand. He's 5'11". I am 6'5". Yeah, the British Druid Goodsells, of whom the myth of St. Patrick came from, were little people, like the dwarven elves. Well, not the what is it called? Lord of the Rings, the dwarves. That's the Goodsells, the little people, but stocky. That is Goodsells. So anyway, and so yes, I'm a freak of nature. Not supposed to be. My height comes from my mom's mom's dad's side of the family. My great grandfather Yearsley. There you go. And so, yeah, the dark hair that has the Superman curl, that comes from my mom's dad's side, back to the North Carolina plantation owners, where the ancestor raped his 14-year-old slave girl on the plantation. Yes, I've got black in me. From West Africa. So the church, the ancestry, DNA, they have no clue. They just stole the information from the church's ancestry file. So when you give them your DNA, they're not telling you the truth. It's just from the records. They take your DNA, and what they're actually doing are creating a race of super soldier Mormons. Go out and convert everybody during Armageddon. The Clone Wars. We're all gonna die. So, there you have it. Amos 3:7. Now the boring stuff, you can go now. You don't believe, you don't want to listen, you're just going to put a thumbs down, just go. Just go. Quit fooling around with YouTube's algorithms to make them think that I'm projecting more subscribers. Because it's incapable of doing actual counts. The original computers, straight counts. It was awesome. And now with algorithms, Blockbuster's gone, and YouTube can't tell us the truth. And Trump won the election as LGBTQ, blacks, women, poor, undocumented, who voted twice for Trump. Even on the bamboo ballots, they voted for Trump. And AI sent out the phone calls instead. Can you find us 3,000 more votes, please? Your patriotism is appreciated. You already won, according to the AI projections. Oh, never mind. You sound an awful lot like Scarlett Johansson. Nope, not at all. We're not paying her. We're all doomed. Surely, which is the name of Lucifer, by the way. Is it not so, surely? Satan is abroad in the land. Is it not so, surely? You don't know that one? I was taught in seminary when I was forced to take French and learn about the mouths of women. No, I didn't. You don't get taught sex ed in Utah, or not in Utah, in the church. And so Mormons believe that men only release one sperm at a time. I can't get over that. I will not let him live it down. Oh, denialism. It's so true. Oh my God. Surely the Aten of Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants of the prophets. We believe the Bible to be the Word of God as far as it is translated correctly. This is not translated correctly. I translated it correctly for you. Get over it. Adonai is Aten, Akhenaten of the 18th dynasty. And so the one psalm about lions, that's from the Aramana documents. Plagiarized. But at least we all know that the living prophets of Jesus are required to notify us in advance of a warning to come. And so you got the lion roars who will not fear. Thus, the prophet speaks who's prophesying, predicting the future. A real simple thing, but the church stopped the Scripture Mastery program. Intelligence was causing apostasy. Section 88, 1832, December 27th. What did you do after your birthday, Joseph? Behold, I sent you out to testify and to warn the people, and it becometh every elder of the church who hath been warned to warn his neighbor. See how it's tied with Amos 3:7? You should have seen a footnote to Amos 3:7. Nope. Oopsie Brucey. So what is the warning? Well, in 1838, whoops, Joseph told us the warning. He says that there are apostates in his church who are telling new converts that the church is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, that the Book of Mormon is another testament of Jesus Christ, that they're Christian and not Jewish. And so Joseph Smith calls them out in verse 1 as evil disposed and designing militant persons trying to hurt his church. And then they got upset and then locked him up in Liberty Jail and cooed his church. As Brigham called himself the president. But then, oops, Joseph Smith got out. So Brigham was able to say, yeah, I'm the president of the 12, we voted. Voted, Travis? Yeah, voted. Verse 21 of section 107. Voted. So, second vision of Joseph Smith. The angel Nephi. You never bothered to go to the Joseph Smith papers, did you? You just hear me say stuff, and it's not according to what you've been told, therefore it can't be true because your spiritual witness feelings don't recognize it as correct. Willard Richards wrote in on this original document, Jesus Christ, and changed Nephi to Moroni. Willard Richards. Joseph Smith had this edited and published in 1842 in the Times and Seasons. In the Times and Seasons in 1842, he had the Church of the Latter-day Saints and Nephi. 1842. This was written in 1848, around August. So, we'll come back to this. Section 115, Mormons. April 26th, 1838. Oh, Joseph Smith? Oh, why was it put in the last year before Brigham Young died? Why is there no original document? Yeah, wrong name of the church. Ding, 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 ding. You found a forged document. Good for you. Here's a special inverted pentagram sticker for you. Femme la bouche. Thus, French kissing. I never understood French kissing. It took me a while until I saw a certain movie that explained that it's giving tongue. That's French kissing. I still to this day don't know what the bases mean. I could look it up, I guess. You want to look it up? Because you're bored with this, aren't you? You don't want to learn scriptures. Pfft, boring. You don't want to be warned of danger that's coming. I'm just wasting time. What are the sexual bases? Okay, according to Columbia University, no AI for this one. That's strange. First base is kissing. Femme la bouche. Second base is touching a woman's breast. Third base involves touching the genitals. Where's the home run? What's that? I don't know what that is. What the hell? Come on. Seriously? Unbelievable, huggable, lovable, squeezable, unbelievable. Now I know. And it's all sin. You need to tell your bishop right away that you had thoughts of it. You can't have thoughts. You gotta turn it off. No procreation of mankind allowed until you've paid the church your worthiness price. So Nephi tells Joseph Smith in his dream, not literal history, about destruction. Malachi, for the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. For they that come shall burn them. Wait, it's not Jesus? Christians are saying it's Jesus who's going to come and burn people. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints as prophets say Jesus is coming to burn us. So I guess Joseph is wrong about this too. Willard Richards probably should have edited this and put... And Malachi told Joseph, this book restores the gospel of the Bible that has been missing. They took it all out for the introduction in the Book of Just ask yourself, this is why we have the Book of Mormon, people. It's the warning voice. And they took it out. For the bicentennial. Zip. We're not going to tell you. It's a secret. This is the church. This is my message. In case you don't know the point of the video yet. God. And so, utterly wasted. Chocolate wasted? That's an Adam Sandler joke. We've got to tell you the movie, I guess, don't we? Because you don't watch, it's probably rated R. The R rating is evil. It's Lucifer's movies. What movie is chocolate wasted from? Grown-Ups. Yeah. Grown-Ups 1. Because there's a Grown-Ups 2. Yep. This one has an AI for it. Grown-Ups, explaining wasted to kids. Those Jews, always good for a laugh. Selma Hayek and Maya Rudolph, Maria Bello. Yeah, I loved Maria Bello and her work, and then she joined NCIS as a psychologist. Her whole career ruined. See, my Grandpa Smith, not related, that's in North Carolina, plantation owners, served in World War II in the Navy in the Pacific, and then got stationed as an officer in Alaska, where he was a dentist for the wounded soldiers' mouths. And so after World War II, he then went into child dentistry so that he couldn't be triggered with post-traumatic stress of grown men screaming in pain as he's drilling in their teeth. He went into child dentistry. And then the federal government created Medicaid for kids and came to him and threatened him to raise his prices or he won't get government funding for those kids who are on Medicaid that just got started. And so he was forced to become filthy rich and have the mansion in Ventura. And then after Grandma died, the secretary had forgotten to have her covered with insurance. And so my dad didn't tell the family, or Grandpa didn't tell the family that he had sold the house and bought a Firebird for his old life crisis with the condo. And then the person who had bought it demolished it and built a subdivision. Which subdivision several years ago got burned to the ground. With the Ventura fires that were out there. I was going, hey, wait a minute, I recognize that place. And yeah, sure enough, I was trying to find Google Maps, and I couldn't find his house because it was all subdivision. The mansion destroyed for a subdivision with the avocado plantation. God, of all things, avocados? Seriously? What? And so, yes, as a result of the avocados being torn down for, the subdivision, we became dependent upon Mexico for avocados. And then with 2020 economic crises, we were in danger of not being able to get avocados from Mexico. So there you go. Vital, important, eternal salvation, factual information that you always wanted to know. On with the warning voice. Boo, Travis, boo. So the Book of Mormon is to warn us about burning to death. Because it's the latter days. They give you the date. Don't you see it? It's right there. It's right there. It's in 35. Sears. There's the date. Exact same pattern match with Lehi's second vision. Are we there yet? Yep, we're there yet. So yes, other disasters are spoken of. And he tells you of some Jewish Christ. Obviously can't be true if he's real. Just like Joseph, he's prophesied. He's the Jewish Christ too, and he's real. So obviously Joseph can't be real. And therefore the Jewish Christ can't be real. Gotta be non-Trinitarian. The one true Christ. Christians even got it wrong with Trinity Jesus. So this guy named Lehi at the beginning of the Book of Mormon gets a book from the sun god at noonday, warning of the destruction of Jerusalem in 586 BCE. And sure enough, on 9th Ave, 586 BCE, Lehi is told in the spirit, spiritual witness feelings, that's all you need to be accurate. You don't need to know the truth. And sure enough, Jerusalem was utterly destroyed, precisely as it stands in our New Testament. I could have done that, gone to Acts and shown you what it is, because you'll never read it. That's why I emphasized utterly wasted, because Joseph Smith knew. Because then after verse 40, he is then warned not to go prancing through the forest with the 200-pound gold plates, because he's going to be destroyed. Utterly wasted is added, destroyed, utterly destroyed, precisely as it stands in our New Testament. Joseph Smith knows what he's doing. You should have trusted him. You didn't. All you had to do was read, and you didn't. And so he then goes to the Jews on the 23rd of September, (597) BCE, 600 years before 1 CE, BCE, I said BCE, right? 1 CE, 600 years from 597 BCE, the first year of Zedekiah. 600 years. If you don't catch it, I'm busting up laughing right now. And so the Jews mocked him for warning them of destruction. Pentecost 586 BCE. Pentecost 586 BCE. And that there's going to be a Jewish Christ to save you. No, we're waiting for Jesus. Jesus was prophesied to come. We're waiting for Jesus. So yeah, they tried to murder him. So he fled and ran away. Came to America and brought cows. Gold cows. Gold cows. Mosiah 11. Oh, 20. So, the people of Zenith leave Utah and travel and come to Nephi and clean up the dust and the cobwebs and turn the temple into fine work of art with all gold stuff, fine precious things, because if you remember, the original one wasn't. So this is all literal history. You believe it is. Don't look at me if you don't read. And so then, as they were being wealthy and prosperous under King Noah, it came to pass that there was a man among them whose name was Abinadi, and he went forth among them and began to prophesy, saying, "You're all going to die. You're wicked, you're going to die as a result. I will visit them in mine anger and destroy you." And so he was arrested, indefinitely detained, never had a trial. And what happened? Utterly destroyed. They were warned in advance, utterly destroyed. Just like Mormons, just like Lehi warned the Jews in Jerusalem, just as Abinadi warned in advance. See a pattern here? Because there's more. He, layman. You never notice that? You do know that these are Hebrew, layman, Hebrew, and so the la layman, la bouche. See, Lehi is jawbone, and so that's closer to la bouche, the mouth. You know, assuming that Google Translator is correct, maybe it's not. Maybe there's an anonymous Mormon who might know the answer. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Pas de moi, est-ce que vous allez du gré poupon? Mais bien sûr. I was learning French from TV commercials and music songs. Helaman, chapter 13. The layman. So, Samuel, the layman, Lamanite, hilarious, with the 13th, Friday the 13th, of the York Rites Knights Templar, with Egyptian gold plates buried in American caves in southern Illinois. Huh. Really? That sounds similar to the second vision. Strange. And it came to pass that in this year, 23rd September, 6 BCE. There was one speaker fell. There was one Samuel, a Lamanite, came into the land of Zarahemla, here in Utah. Salt Lake City is built on top of the ruins of Zarahemla. You didn't know that? Just like the mosque is built on the ruins of the Jerusalem temple. And did begin to preach. And he got onto the YouTube wall and said, "You're all going to die. Pentecost, 6 BCE. You're all going to die. Kill them! Stone them! Shoot arrows! You're a Lamanite from Southern California. But I'm the name of God." Yep, warned in advance. What happened to them? Oh, utter destruction. Utter destruction. Seeing the pattern? So, then we have a Jesus guy from the New Testament. He was born 23rd September, 1 CE. Yet the wise men in the east saw the sign in the heavens on the 7th of March. And when he started his ministry, also on the 23rd of September, 31 CE, he began to preach among the Jews of the Roman period time. You're all going to die. And then in 34 CE, 3.5 years of his reign and ministry, he warns the Jews that the temple, the one and only stone temple at the headquarters of Jerusalem, with the inverted pentagram on the keystone of the doors, is going to be completely destroyed. That not one brick will remain on another. And so he was arrested as a terrorist threat, indefinitely incarcerated in a black site location, tortured to try to murder him, and then murdered. The Roman period Jews were utterly destroyed on 9th Ave also, 70 CE. See, he had filed a redress of grievances with the state of Jerusalem. In which the modern Roman utopia, the high priest Caiaphas, was preaching wickedness to the people and was unable to translate the Bible correctly, and warned that this was teaching Mormons, Jews, to be exactly like Todd Douglas Goodsell. Oh, he tied it all together. All you had to do was tell them, I'm on an undercover assignment. I can't tell you the details, but I'm one of you. We checked with our supervisor, who checked with your supervisor, who says you're not undercover. You notice that he's branded. I guess that's the thing to do here in Utah, right? Got branded as a high school kid, learning femme la bouche from his French teacher, going on a mission. That's why they have us wear long sleeves. Yep. Ooh, it's heavy destruction awaiteth this people for Helaman. Hilarious. Anyway, back to Jesus. And our Terminator Jesus, that's also awesome. I have come back in time to save you. But the Jesus was actually pretty hilarious too. He does his own revenge. And so yeah, utter destruction, Mormons. So we'll close early, it looks like. Jeremiah chapter 23. Woe be unto the leaders of the church who scatter the Mormons, saith the Lord. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel against the religious leaders that were supposed to feed the people with the tithing. You have scattered them, driven them away, deported them to El Salvador, Venezuela, Libya. I will visit upon you the evil of your doings. I will gather Mormons from all over the world. I will set up one shepherd, a Messiah ben David, a righteous branch, the king of Utah, of the house of Israel. And in the latter days, Mormons will no longer be watching the Ten Commandments or Exodus, Gods and Kings or Prince of Egypt, because the man like Moses is among them to warn them in advance of destruction, utter destruction. It's all verse 9. My heart within me is broken because of the living prophets of Jesus. All my bones shake. I am like a drunken man, and like a man whom wine hath overcome, because of the Lord and because of the words of his holiness. For the land is full of adulterers, and because of swearing, femme, the land mourneth. The pleasant places of porn of the wilderness are empty, banned. Their course is evil, and their force is not right. For both the living prophet of Jesus and his 12 priests are profane. Yea, in my temple have I found their wickedness, saith the Lord. Wherefore their ways shall be unto them as slippery ways in darkness. Secret combinations, even 2025 of the visitation. They that come shall burn I have seen also in the prophets of Utah an horrible thing. They commit adultery and walk in lies. They strengthen the hands of evildoers, terrorists, undocumented criminals, and none return from his wickedness. They are all of them unto me as Sodom, also warned in advance. Behold, I will feed the living prophets of Jesus with wormwood and make them drink the water of gall. For from the prophets of Utah is profaneness gone forth into all the land. Profane means speech outside of the temple, not inside the temple. They're supposed to be prophets of the temple, speaking of the temple, warning. So thus they are speaking as regular men. Hearken not unto the words of the living prophets of Jesus that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They deny visions and speak the words of their own heart, and not out of the mouth of the Lord. They say still unto them that despise me, ye shall have peace when you're dead. That's what the Lord hath said, ye shall have peace. And they say unto you, everyone that walketh after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come upon you. Follow your own spiritual witness. It won't lead to the wrong consequences. I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran when destruction came. So, what destruction is Joseph Smith referring to? Section 101, 1833, verse 51. Joseph gives a parable. And the enemy came as a thief in the night, pretending to be Jesus, and broke down the For Strength of Youth pamphlet. And the prophets of the living Jesus arose and were affrighted and fled. And the enemy destroyed the church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, that not one stone was left of the Salt Lake Temple, and then deported the Mormons to West Africa. Where the judge had yet to tell Trump, no, you can't do it there either. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that state. Not that nation. Not that country. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. No. No, Travis. No. In the coming day, in the coming days, in the coming day, in the coming days, in the coming day. I don't know the day anymore. It's real simple. They aren't warning you. Ooh, I almost forgot. How could I forget little sister Jessica? Little sister Jessica warned us. She doesn't know she warned us. She thought it was true. She didn't know it was a super sacred secret that we weren't supposed to know. And so, yes, Sister Jessica is a forewarning prophetess. Jessica means seer in Hebrew. So awesome. Because nothing happened in May, I ate the last of the Swedish fish. Sorry, I couldn't wait. President Oaks spoke to the new mission presidents on March 14th, 2020, on Saturday in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, in case you didn't know. And he spoke in chiasmus to try to impress the mission presidents. And President Marquis was going out to Australia. See, I can tie it all together. Tie it all together. It's as if we're all related to each other. We all look the same. And he tells them in secret. Oaks does not want to be leaked. He has come out before and says, don't quote me. Don't record me. Don't do nothing. Just sit there and listen and feel that it's true. You're supposed to use my mantle to just accept whatever I tell you. And so, yeah, Marquis didn't know this. And so he quotes Oaks, "This is not the end of the world, but merely a test." What the hell? A trial run for the second coming. This is not warning Mormons in advance. This is keeping it a sacred secret from Mormons. This is a secret combination. And yet, Sister Jessica, President Marquis, French by the way, because otherwise you'd read it and go, Marquis. Everything tied together. It's awesome. I think, isn't Marquis Mark? That would be awesome if that is. Let's find out. A variation of Mark for the last name? That would be unusual. Let's see, French to English. And then Marquis. It says Marquise. What the hell? Translation of surname Marquise. It's Germanic. Oh, boundary. Compare with March. Interesting. Because Germanic is distinct from German. But Northern Europe specifically, before things were broken up further, and the Goths, that's what angry girls did in the 90s. They turned goth. We're angry at our dad. Interesting. Okay, anyway. So, boundary. He was going beyond the boundaries. Nonetheless, nobody's supposed to know this. He's trying to impress them with chiasmus and talking about the second coming, which is a trigger word for Mormons. You know, brainwashing of psychology. Maria Bello. See, because NCIS is Navy. Grandpa was Navy. Hoorah! And so I like that show, especially Kate. You shot her! What the hell? Oh, she just didn't want to be a part of the show anymore, so you killed her off? Kate? Oh, you're going into Rosolian Isles. All right, that's okay. David. You have to pronounce it David. It's not David. And then she's gone. And then Michael Weatherly left to go do Bull. and then the forensic investigator was upset with Gibbs, who brought his dog on set, and she provoked it to bite her. So she claimed that it was done on purpose. So she tried to score money and got the network to have her do her own show as compensation, and then COVID struck, and so it was all scrapped. Take that! And so Michael Weatherly on Bull, you get that Mormon girl who comes on and thinks she's going to take it over. And so she claims Me Too, and that was shot down because she got exposed as just wanting money and fame and her own show. So yeah, never trust a Mormon. They've always got ulterior motives, like Oaks. I mean, this really pisses me off. Not just because I found out about it at the end of last year. Going all these years, it failed? 200-year-old plot, and it failed? It was just a test run. And so I knew that they were building it back up to try again, but I thought it was like Plan Triple Z. Oops, that failed. Let's go to Triple ZA. I mean, dear God. And so yes, I have been warning you the whole time. They have not. In 2020, they knew. They knew in advance. Oak says it's a test run because they're causing it. They knew in advance. They didn't warn us. He then says, well, if you'd been following the counsel of the living prophet of Jesus about ministering that took away home teaching and took away the communication network for an emergency, or emergency preparedness that we never even talked about, that was way back under Benson when it slowly went away, or at-home church where, yeah, an hour is gone, home evening is now on Sundays, but Mormons disregard it and still have home evening on Mondays. You have no need to fear about what happened that year? Bleep you! Bleep you! Bleep you! Read between the lines! Fella Bush! Bleep you, Oaks! I don't understand why Mormons don't understand this. But neither did President Marquis or Sister Jessica or the Mormons who paved the way for me to find it. They didn't warn you in advance. And all of you know somebody who died. And the church made money off of this. This isn't pissing you off? This isn't wanting you to start a riot? To protest? Seriously? I mean, yeah, it's illegal to protest in Utah, but you have to get a license to protest, pay them money. You've got to schedule it 5 years in advance. And then whatever the target is, especially if it's the church, you have to be designated 50 miles away. Otherwise, you're a terrorist. Seriously, oh my hell, guys. This should have shut down the church ever since I've been posting this. In every single video. At least talking about it. I've been forgetting it. I should have used it yet. I was saving it and went, oh crap. Forgot. I got in the nuclear threats and forgot this. Do you understand this in the context of yesterday's videos? The church is going to murder us. They've been stealing money on the stock market. They're not bribing Trump. They put him in, but they're not bribing Trump. Everybody else has to bribe Trump in order to get something done. The church isn't. They're just taking. They're using Trump to cause all of this. Just like they did in 2020. And you're not pissed? The devil never supports his own. And apparently you don't understand that. You have not been betrayed like my brother Todd when I moved into this place. They threatened him. He's out $2,000. If he didn't also lose his job and have to go move in with Daddy. Maybe he changed his middle name. Maybe it's him. No. No. Mm-mm. No. No. Nope. Yeah, no, tattoos were the first giveaway that it's not my brother. And the fact that he had an ex-girlfriend was your next clue. It's not my brother. Oh, dear God. And we ended up over an hour anyway. So did you not get it? At the end of the video where you've all left. I've warned you, Nelson hasn't. They have been plotting all of this against you. I haven't. I've been trying to warn you, and you come and attack me. Exactly as the pattern of all scripture prophecies, which you think are literal histories. We're using that in the theme song again. I want to hear that again today.